Welcome to the space where we break the rules you've always lived by. My name is Glitch, and today we're going to talk about something most people have been warned against: obsession. Society calls it a flaw, but I'm going to show you that obsession is actually the hidden superpower behind extraordinary achievements. Think of me as the glitch in the system, here to reveal how embracing a little bit of obsession can take you places a balanced life never could. Most people live by a quiet rule that they never question: don't risk everything on one idea. You've heard it from your parents, teachers, and your friends, that you should balance your time, keep everything in moderation, and never let a single pursuit dominate you. It sounds safe and sensible, right? But here's the truth no one really tells you. No one ever changed the world by staying balanced. Every major leap in human progress has come from someone who broke that rule, not by accident, but by choice. Think of the person who spends years chasing a single solution, failing hundreds of times, and still returning to the work with the same intensity, convinced that they're one step away from something impossible. To them, this isn't a hobby or even just a career. It's the only thing that matters. Their thoughts and actions revolve around their goals and ideas. This is the truth society won't tell you. Balance keeps you comfortable, but obsession helps you to move forward in life for something better. Balance divides your attention, while obsession narrows it to a single burning point. And when all your energy is focused on one outcome, it's only a matter of time before you cut through the resistance that stops everyone else. To the outside world, it looks unhealthy, extreme, dangerous. An obsessed mind isn't looking for approval. It's looking for that one moment when everything finally clicks into place. And you don't get there by being half in. You get there by giving it everything, even when no one else understands why. When we talk about what truly fuels genius-level breakthroughs, it's easy to think of talent or sheer luck. But there's a quieter, often overlooked element at play: obsession. Obsession is that hidden force that takes ordinary effort and turns it into something extraordinary. It's the secret ingredient that has fueled some of the greatest innovations in history. Consider Thomas Edison. His journey to invent the practical light bulb is often told as a story of persistence, but it was more than just that. It was his obsessive drive to test thousands of materials, to fail over and over again, and to keep going when others would have quit, and that truly made the difference. Edison's obsession wasn't just about creating a light bulb. It was about finding that one perfect solution, no matter how many tries it took. That level of obsession is what turns a good idea into a world-changing invention. The same goes for the Wright brothers. They were not the only ones trying to conquer flight, but they were the ones who obsessed over it to the point of iterating every tiny detail. They built wind tunnels, tested countless wing designs, and let their obsession guide them where others saw only impossibilities. Their obsession was the lens that brought the dream of human flight into reality. In other words, obsession is that secret ingredient that allows creators and innovators to go beyond what's been done before. That's why it's worth obsessing over an idea. You don't know exactly where it will take you. You don't know what discoveries, connections, or breakthroughs are waiting along the way. But if you never start, you'll never find out. Obsession doesn't just move you toward a goal. It carries you into places you couldn't have imagined at the beginning. Let's dig into a deeper truth that often goes unnoticed. Obsession doesn't just lead to extraordinary outcomes. It reveals a hidden layer of mental endurance that most people never realize they have. Think of it this way. We're taught early to keep things balanced, to divide our time, manage our energy, and never get too wrapped up in any one thing. We're told that's the path to a balanced, healthy life. But what if there's another path? One that's not about balance at all, but about discovering how far your mind can go when you allow it to focus intensely on a single pursuit. Obsession is that path. It's the journey where you learn that your mind can stay in a zone of focus far longer than you ever thought possible. While others tire out or get distracted, the obsessed find a way to push through that barrier. It's like unlocking a secret level of mental stamina that most people never even know exists. This endurance isn't just about working longer hours or grinding through tasks. It's about training your mind to stay deeply engaged with something until that level of focus becomes almost second nature. It's about realizing that your mind can go further, dive deeper, and stay in that flow state far beyond what you once believed was possible. In a world that often praises balance and moderation, this is the truth that doesn't get told. Obsession can be a doorway to discovering your own mental extremes. It's not about burning out or losing yourself. It's about realizing just how much endurance you truly have when you let yourself go all in. So, as we think about obsession as mental endurance, we're really talking about a kind of inner strength that most people never tap into. It's a revelation that once you allow yourself to become obsessed, you find out that your mind is capable of a level of focus and stamina that's truly extraordinary. There's a side to obsession that rarely makes the headlines, something almost counterintuitive. While the world often sees obsession as a heavy burden or a kind of tunnel vision, those who experience it from the inside often discover a hidden joy. It's the kind of fulfillment that comes from being completely immersed in something that matters deeply to you. When you're obsessed, you're not counting hours or watching the clock. Instead, you're in a state where the work itself becomes its own reward. Think of it like this. While others might find joy in taking breaks or switching tasks, the obsessed find a rare kind of happiness in going deeper and deeper into their chosen pursuit. It's a joy that comes from total engagement, where every small step forward feels meaningful and every challenge feels like part of a grand adventure. That is how obsession isn't just about the grind or the intensity. It's also about the quiet, hidden joy of being fully aligned with something you care about. It's that feeling of waking up with a clear purpose and going to bed knowing you've spent your day on something that truly matters to you. And in a world that often values balance for its own sake, this kind of all-in joy is a rare and powerful experience. In the end, obsession is more than just a tool. It's a gateway. It lets you move past the quiet limits the world accepts without question. Where most stop at what's expected, the obsessed keep going until what once seemed impossible feels within reach. This is the real payoff. Not just hitting the goal you started with, but discovering new ground along the way. When you go all in, the path changes. You're not just following a plan anymore. You're shaping it as you go, uncovering possibilities you couldn't have seen from the start. At some point, the old boundaries fade. You stop measuring yourself against others and start measuring yourself against what you once thought you could do. And in that shift, the limits you used to believe in dissolve. The work itself begins to change. It's no longer about finishing. It's about building something that lasts. Your decisions carry more weight because they come from countless hours inside the craft. You see patterns sooner, solve problems faster, and move with a clarity that only comes from deep immersion. Your standard rises without you even noticing. What once felt ambitious now feels like the baseline. The version of you that began this journey wouldn't even recognize the one standing here now. And with that comes independence. You stop needing approval before you act, not out of arrogance, but because you've learned to trust your process. You've seen what's possible when you commit without hesitation. This is what redefining possibility looks like. Not chasing bigger dreams for the sake of it, but becoming someone capable of turning them into reality. You can't predict where an all-in pursuit will take you, but if you never start, you'll never see the places only full commitment can reveal. That's the true reward of obsession. Reaching a point you couldn't have planned for, standing in a reality you built through relentless focus, knowing it exists because you refuse to stop. So here's the bottom line. Obsession is not a flaw, but is a force that can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. My name is Glitch, and remember this. Obsession takes you beyond the self-proclaimed limits that other people quietly accept. Being poor is not a choice, but staying poor is a choice. So go out there and use it. Let everyone else live by the rules. You're here to break them and make something extraordinary.